Hello boys, how are you doing? I've brought you out for a coffee and a chat today in this, yes, that's the one, and a cake. Have you ever been in a relationship, or you might be dating, and it's all going well, it's all going swimmingly, until sometimes you just hit this proverbial wall, and you just hit, and you may be stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you just cannot understand why that's happened when everything was looking so good and you were doing all the right things and you're a nice guy. Well, I'm here to remind you, as I do every day, that there's nothing wrong with you, that success is structural, not personal. There's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing that you need to fix. You're not a project that needs to be fixed or improved upon so that then you can have the relationship that you desire, so that then you can have success with women, so that then you can go out and have dating success and have all the one-liners and all of that and make them laugh and whatever you want, or share your life with somebody who's your buddy. There's nothing else I'm proposing here that you need to do to improve yourself, because I'm suggesting that you are whole and perfect, you're complete, and you're extremely resourceful, you're extremely powerful, and from that power, that masculine power of creation, that you can choose what it is you want and how you want to do it, provided, and this is a really important disclaimer, that you do no harm to yourself or to others or to property. Is that fair to say? Would you say yes or no? As long as that's all good, you really can choose and create a dynamic with a partner that really works for you and that really works for the other person. Now, there's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing to fix, and here's why. Here's why. I'm going to explain to you now. There's just 3 different levels of operation. It's like you've got 3 different operating systems. The first level is here. What you see is what you get. WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. So this is the part of you that sees and hears, that is like the self-conscious. It's like the daily operational part of you, your daily OS. Okay, have you got that bit? Yes or no? Put a 1 in the comments if that's a yes, so that I can be explaining this better for you. Now, the second part of personality is the unconscious. Have you heard about this before, the unconscious? Yes or no? So Sigmund Freud, the granddaddy of psychotherapy, 90 years ago, 90 to 100 years ago, so in the early 1900s, so 1920s to 30s, he was practicing psychotherapy. He created psychotherapy in order to help people with their internal issues. And he coined the term the subconscious. The subconscious. I'm going to, for the purposes of more clarity, I'm just going to call it the unconscious. And he suggested that lots of things that are happening below the level are affecting how you present on the conscious level. What you see is what you get, how you speak, how you present yourself, and how you relate, how you communicate. All of that's the conscious part of you. So I'm now going to illustrate the unconscious. So the unconscious is a bit more like this. Okay? Do you know what? That really hurts. I'm just going to have to do this. So have you heard the expression, pulling the wool over your eyes? Like that. So this is how my unconscious patterns, so the operating system that I created when I was teeny tiny, this is how it affects me. So it makes me not be able to operate in my day-to-day very clearly at all. Is that example clear to you, yes or no? So So how does this happen? I'm going to keep this hat on so that I can explain it to you. Unconscious patterns happen. You're born. So funny, I look like a builder's mate. So you're born into a family situation. And as a teeny weeny infant, your number one job is to survive and to be loved so that you get looked after. So according to the culture or the structure of your environment, which is your family, if you do or behave or act, because when you're an infant it's pre-verbal stage, so you're not talking yet, you're not cognizant in language, but however it doesn't mean you don't understand what's going on, because there is a lot of research that suggests that babies do actually understand even if they don't have language yet. I actually know that animals also have that cognizance ability. So what happens is, in order to navigate and survive the family unit, the most sensible and logical thing that you would need to do as a pre-verbal infant is to blend and go with the flow with how everybody else is being in your family so that you get accepted. Does that land for you, yes or no? So without any conscious, here's you in the conscious form, without any conscious creation of your own, that you chose, oh, I need to be like this in order to be loved here, or in order to be fed, or clothed, or warm, in order to be kept warm. These things happen automatically. They happen... Does it sound muffled? Oh dear, that's a shame. Okay, can you hear me now? I'm just going to keep going. I hope this works. Thanks for your feedback. So these patterns are created a very, very long time ago. And if the environment, the structure of your family or where you were brought up, if that was ineffective, if it wasn't so balanced, if it wasn't so harmonious, if you never saw your mother and your father potentially, or your mother and her male partner or partner communicating and relating harmoniously, if you never saw that, then that gets recorded into the unconscious pattern, and that gets recorded as that's how it is. So the patterning, the OS system in all the consciousness levels, literally simply explains this is how it is, this is how we survive. Okay, there is the unconscious. So the reason why, if you're not messed up my hair, the reason why if you are feeling like you're not having the success with women that you would like, or you're having a lovely time out with a girl and then something happens that you don't understand, you feel overwhelmed, you may feel upset, you may feel like it's your fault. If that's happening to you, it's possible that there are unconscious patterns that are then that operating system of the unconscious, so that is now operational instead of your conscious self here that may be making different choices and different conclusions. Now, here's the good news. Here's the really good news. The other level of consciousness is your superconscious. I'm going to illustrate that with a really big, lovely summer hat. So your superconscious is the conscious part of you that knows how it is, that has all the rules and all of the codes, all the templates for everything and everything and everything. The superconscious is your genius, is the bit of you, the big bit of you, that is connected to everything and that knows and understands everything in a superconscious way. Now that doesn't mean it's conscious in the present everyday operation. This operating system here, called the superconscious, is what is known as flow state. It's also known as your intuition. It's also understood as your soul. It can also be understood as lots of other different words. For the purpose of this explanation, I don't think it really matters what you call it, but you could imagine it just for the rest of this video as your genius, your source, the part of you that's always switched on, the part of you that knows what to do, and the part of you that has access to all of the programs, all of the information in all of it. You have this part of you, and this is a most amazing part of you. So what happens then, what you can do instead when you're in a relationship, maybe with a woman, it may be with a friend, it may be with your colleague, but just for now, imagine I'm speaking specifically more to the male-female relationship dynamic. You can recreate your operating system so that you can operate from your highest potential, from your genius. Now, the thing that many people don't tell you, people that teach being your best super self and being your super, I forget what the terms are, but the bit that they miss out is the influence that this has, and this unconscious influence is very painful. And this, the unconscious patterning, that isn't your fault. It was created when you were a little teeny weeny baby, or even there's research to suggest that when you were inside the womb. So because that's also having an influence, and then there's all the good stuff up ahead, and then there's the everyday you just trying to navigate through all of it, it can be quite confusing. But it needn't be. It needn't be, because when you restructure your operating system so that you are resourcing from your superconscious, then what happens is your unconscious gets rewired from superconscious. Imagine you're receiving all these, it's fireworks time of year now, so you're receiving all these amazing fireworks and lights and all these ideas, all these programs, all these images, all this information. You're receiving that from your cloud. What that does then is it rewires the unconscious from a pattern that is uncomfortable and may make you feel like you're not enough, you're bad and wrong, and you are to blame, and you need to fix yourself. You need to fix yourself, and then you keep trying to fix yourself at this level. But fixing yourself at the conscious level doesn't work, because there's other consciousnesses that are operating those systems. So instead, what you can do is just rewire your structure into a successful structure, your success structure that resources and points to your genius according to what you decide that you want. You create the relationship of your dreams on your terms. You define what that looks like, and then you bring it forth towards you, and you take action steps towards that every single day. And that's vastly different to trying to do a relationship resourcing from, well, this is how it's always been, and it's always been a little bit uncomfortable or confusing or painful. But guess what? And here's the crucial piece. None of that was your fault, because you didn't decide that that's how it was going to be for you for the rest of your life when you were 3 months old. You didn't decide that consciously. So now that you are a grown-up, now that you're an adult, you can choose, and you can create, and you can focus. As long as you have your focus and you point your arrow and you go towards that, nothing will stop you. You can do this because there's nothing wrong with you. All you have to do is rewire the unconscious patterning, which I can show you how to do, and all you have to do is restructure to a successful, exponential, forward-moving, advancing structure. That's it. 2 ingredients. And when you do these 2 things, you'll get that your present you is so amazing. It's so amazing. Literally, I invite you to go and have a date with yourself and ask yourself questions and listen to your superconscious. Listen to how amazing you are. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow.